Hey, folks, welcome to another cool edition of What's Going On The Experience here on Fox Sports 1280 in Rochester and iHeartMedia. And I am the hostess with the mostest, and I got the guys in the building. My name is Nate Brown Jr., and I got my man JP Hill. Look like he's stuck. I don't know. There you go. There you go, Joseph. Joseph Hill down in cold behind Minnesota. Say it ain't so. It's cold Minnesota Joe. Then I got my man Ryan V. Then the NYC bringing up the red down in the Hamptons. It's cold down there too. Right, Ryan?
It certainly is. Actually, it's snowing out here. So I feel like I'm in Rochester or Buffalo. There's just a layer of snow. A little bit late for a white Christmas, but I mean, you're not allowed to celebrate white Christmas anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Hey, somebody's dreaming of a damn white Christmas. Joseph, what's happening, Cap Mike? How you doing? Donald Trump's dreaming of a white Christmas. You know, him and Melania and the Epstein files.
That's right. It's an orange Christmas on Epstein Island, apparently.
And Bill Clinton in the blue dress. Joe, you said they had a picture of him in the blue dress, Joe. You said it, Joe.
Yeah, it's a real thing. The blue dress, the picture of Trump and Bill Clinton is just.
Oh,
I know
Joe.
that people try to make excuses like, oh, it's a picture of the boys. They're just hanging out. I don't got no pictures of me like
But
that.
Joe, do you have a picture of me in a pink dress, Joe? If it is, let me, Joe. I need to see it.
Truth be told, bub.
Oh, where are we going in the world, Ryan? Joe, where we going in the world?
You know, back in the day, J. Edgar Hoover used to always wear dresses at parties.
Yeah, but you know, I guess they closed the Hoover building. They said they closed the Hoover building,
and they called him Mary.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. So they've been cross-dressing in the White House for decades, folks. Speaking of the White House.
By the way, ain't no brothers doing that stuff.
Listen, man. Listen. I don't know what those brothers do in the background. They don't bring it out. They don't. If they are cross-dressing, you ain't seeing them out in the open. That's all I gotta say. Other than Billy Porter, because he don't care. You know, Billy Porter don't give a hell. But speaking of don't care, man, I'm hearing this trouble brewing, gentlemen, with the Baltimore Ravens. The scuttlebutt has it that Lamar Jackson, who's been very injury prone this year, has an attitude problem where this is alleged, I gotta do the alleged. Allegedly, he's been sleeping in meetings, not paying attention, not really focusing on, he's very unhappy. And I guess he's got a $75 million extension too, I guess, coming down the line. So, Joe, what say you about Lamar? Because he has not looked good at all this season. I'm sorry, injuries included, but he just like his head wasn't in the game. Plus, I'm be wanting to like clock him for putting on that gold shit in his teeth. You could edit that, Ryan, if you want. But when the guys come out with the gold stuff, it makes me so disappointed. I want to tackle him and go like this and knock the gold shit out of his teeth. But that's another story.
Well, you know, he's a country boy from Miami.
I don't give a damn.
That's what country boys do, man.
Have some decorum, player. You don't got to see everybody, but you have some decorum. But what about him in the quarterback room, Joe? Because it seems like he don't want to be there no more.
You know what my take is that John Harbaugh is one of the most Teflon coaches in the NFL. Like nothing lands on him. He's mismanaged that team with all the talent that they've had over the years not to have won a championship and to like really play poorly in the playoffs. First person I look at is the coach.
Now, Ryan, check this out. Last game they had, this is really crazy. They're winning the game. I forget who they playing. They're winning the game. Derrick Henry's running the ball all over the damn football field. Fourth quarter, the dude don't play him.
I'm trying to tell you.
Ryan, I'm watching the game like, what is Derrick Henry doing on the sideline in the fourth quarter? And they need him to run the football, Ryan?
Well, the Patriots have run defense, right? Maybe that was what he was thinking, but I agree with both of you guys.
All right, let's go back to several games they played against the Chiefs in the playoffs. What did they do? They got behind. They forgot they had Derrick Henry, and they went pass happy. and they lost those games. Once again, I'm blaming this on John Harbaugh.
It is a little strange that, like you said, they go out of their way to get an all-time great running back, and they don't use him when it matters. And it does make you question the head coaching. And not just that, but at this point, maybe they need a coach that can get more out of Lamar Jackson. He's still got, I believe, what, 2 more seasons there. I think his contract ends in 2027, but at this point, it's almost like he's maxed out and he's not getting any better.
He's
But
not engaged.
if
I
you're
don't think he's
replacing a
engaged,
coach
Ryan.
like that, because they might not seem as engaged because they didn't seem like they really stood much a chance this year. But who's a better replacement? Like, this is the same conversation that comes up with so many teams when they want to make that change. I mean, who would you put as the coach over John Harbaugh? Would you go for some type of a quarterback specialist?
Marcus Freeman.
He's not leaving Notre Dame.
I know, but I'm just saying. You asked me who. Oh, I'll bring back Jeff Saturday. I'll give him a second chance.
Jeff Saturday.
I'll give Jeff Saturday a second
that's
chance.
A good one. Brian Flores.
I'll give him another chance too, because they are both football minds who played. And Jeff Saturday always says, dude, why ain't you running Derrick Henry? What is wrong? Yeah, you ain't running Derrick Henry. So
it's the combination too. Here's the thing that frustrated me with those games against the Chiefs, fellas. It's not just Derrick Henry. It's Derrick Henry and Lamar.
Right.
How the hell are you going to stop both of them when you got an offense that's dedicated to running the ball?
So, no, you.
But here's the thing, guys. Is like, we always talk about fire the coaches. The man's been there for 15 years. He's been there for a long time. He built a regular winning team that goes to the playoffs. From what I remember, I don't remember.
Newsom built that team.
The players haven't turned on him, is my point. And to find a guy that everybody still seems to believe, and you say that Lamar's not there, I don't think he's given up on the head coach. And it's the execution. It's not like he's out there committing turnovers. These guys get hurt. He's not out there getting these guys hurt. They're stagnant in big moments.
But if you look at the Ravens this year, the turnovers, right? The way that offense is very, very stagnant. They're not running the football the way they, and when they do, they stop. The first 2 quarters, they'll run the football down the yin yang. You can't stop Derrick Henry. You're trying to tackle him. He's no. But for some reason, they get to the 3rd quarter, he uses them less. The 4th quarter, he don't even use them. The dude's sitting on the sideline drinking Gatorade.
And that's when your running game, because what happens is just like boxing. You take the body out and then you go to the head. It's the same thing in football. You run. You tire the defensive line out, and then you run more. And they do the opposite.
So Ryan, I don't know how long Harbaugh might even be there. Because like I said, if you take an assessment, there's no way in the world that Baltimore should not have been in the playoffs. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think it's a drastic mistake to get rid of Harbaugh. I'm sorry. To find a guy that has been there for so long, who are you going to replace him with?
But Ryan, they've got they've got tons. Ryan, they got tons of offensive coordinators.
I get it. I know that Lamar Jackson has had some MVP seasons, but all right. So let's put it this way: you guys believe that with a different head coach, you could take that exact same Baltimore Ravens roster, which has many holes in it.
Yep.
And you think you'd be able to get them to the playoffs, maybe even win a Super Bowl? The exact same roster they have right now.
Yeah.
And you think it's literally because of the head coach? I would say more the coordinators, but all right.
Nope. The head coach.
Head coach hires a coordinator.
Has a coordinator. Exactly. And
maybe it's time to fire them.
And we got a couple more minutes on this segment because I'm going to flip right quick. And that is why the Detroit Lions are not in the playoffs. The Detroit Lions, first of all, Dan Campbell, the BS that he does on the 4th down, finally caught up with him. Thank God. You're stupid. Kick the field goal. You dummy. 4th and 5. No. Stop it. You're on the 35-yard line. Kick the field goal. You could have won 5 games this season. 5, and I counted, by just kicking the damn field goal and keep it moving, okay? That gunslinger, it ain't working, player. It's a done deal. Second of all,
I got to say, in his defense, and I'm not a big Dan Campbell fan, but in his defense, They lost 9 coordinators this past year because
That's where I was going. But that's
the
where I was going.
coordinators took people with them.
That's
Like
where I was
Ben
going.
Johnson took his boy with him.
Aaron Glenn took his crew with him. But not only that, Dan Campbell says, now I want to be the play caller. Nah, Danny, it ain't working for you, player. You need an offensive coach to call them damn plays.
And I got another candidate for you, Ryan, for Baltimore. It'll never happen, but I got a candidate for you. And Randall, what's his name? Randall L. Antoine Randall L.
Old Pittsburgh Steeler. Yeah.
And he's one of the coordinators that Ben Johnson took.
You guys are hard on these coaches, man. You guys are real hard on these coaches. Even Dan
wait,
Campbell.
what
Dan
do you
Campbell's the
mean?
reason why the Lions are even relevant.
But I'm not
Hard
saying
on the coaches.
Ryan, we love the fact that there the same thing happened with the Commanders. You're up one year, you're down. We get that, right? But his style of football with that analytics has gotten him in trouble. He could have still won 5 or 6 games just kicking the field goal. I'm not tripping on that. You let that analytics get to you to the point where you dumb down football. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some more football, playoffs, obviously, and how good are the Chargers and the Houston Texans. I kind of like those guys for some reason. We don't talk about the damn Jets and Giants because they stink. We'll be right back. Fox Sports 1280, iHeartMedia. Hey, welcome back to What's Going On in the Experience here on Fox Sports 1280. And I'm Nate Brown Jr. We got Joseph Hill out of Minnesota. And we got my man Ryan V down in NYC pumping that Yankees hat. We'll talk some MLB a little later. But you see, I got my Knicks hat. And we'll talk some basketball a little later. But we're on football right now. And Joe, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna start with you and these damn Vikings. First of all, you're some knuckleheads in Minnesota. You got rid of Sam Darnold, put all your eggs in the basket of this young kid, and you can't stay on the damn football field. Now, Sam Darnold is out here balling like a big baller for the Seattle Seahawks, who might, Ryan, get to the Super Bowl. So, Joseph, what say you about franchises in Minnesota?
I think they made the right move.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think OKC is a quarterback whisperer. Him and McCown, they're gonna be fine. When it's all settled down, you are gonna think, look, JJ McCarthy can play. He needs to stop taking. The last time he got hurt wasn't his fault. His line didn't protect him, and he got the hell smacked out of him, getting hit unexpected, and he's got a broken bone in his hand. If you look at people like, there used to be a thing that Matthew Stafford couldn't stay healthy. Matthew Stafford right now may be the best quarterback in football. I'm just saying, when you got young quarterbacks, give them some time. And I don't know if you can blame every injury that McCarthy has had on McCarthy. Football people get hurt.
But what I'm saying, though, Ryan, I think they played themselves by getting rid of Sam Darnold. Help me out. I just think they played
Absolutely.
themselves. I just
I
think
mean,
they played themselves.
you roll the dice. Sometimes you don't always hit. And I know
It's
JJ
not over.
McCarthy was great.
What I'm trying to say is, you all are acting like the story is like finished.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm saying
Story's
Minnesota
not
was
over.
on a roll player. This is what I'm saying. They were on a roll, right? It's like trying to put Giannis on the Knicks now. I don't need him, and we'll talk about that later. No, they're on a roll. Minnesota was on a roll with Sam Darnold. They was hitting their groove and their rhythm. I would let that kid keep the damn clipboard. Stay
And
right there, dude, and let me max out this Darnold cat. And if I can max him out and get me the place, and then he go with a Super Bowl, cool. Then you up. But they played themselves, Joe. I'm sorry.
No. Here's the deal. Think about this. Nobody wanted Sam Darnold until he came to the Vikings. I'm trying to tell you, Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer. If you got any kind of talent, he'll make you a better quarterback. He's got confidence in Kevin O'Connell. He knew what the hell he was doing. He wasn't going to have that kid keep sitting there for 5 years. And he took a chance, but I think he took a good chance because
All
he
right, yeah.
sees talent in McCarthy.
Okay, I'm not saying he's not talented, bro. I'm just saying he's football injury prone, bro. That's where I'm going with him right about now. He can't stay on the field. Ryan?
I
for
mean, look,
now.
for now. Injuries is something that you really can't predict for the most part. But I guess as we're talking about it, I guess JJ, if you really have that type of faith that he's going to be developed, could be a better long term play. But when you're living in the now and the Vikings aren't always in the playoffs and it's always usually a disappointing season, why would you get rid of a guy that is, I guess you'd call him like a known quantity? You know what he's going to do. He was already there. He went to Seattle, had the same success. What has he got?
Come on, man.
24 touchdowns to
He
13.
Don't
hasn't
let
success
Seattle,
since
Joe.
280. Look, he was a bum until he came over.
Joe, he was
I
a
get it,
bum
but
with the Jets. So I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying, so was Geno Smith. It does take time for you to develop as a quarterback. I'm not denying that. But when they hit their stride, you got to know when to keep it going. And I think the Vikings played themselves. I just think they just outthought some stuff. Yeah, Kevin O'Connell's a quarterback whisperer. You got my man, like I said, now in Seattle. I mean, so look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Perfect example, right? Because that dude, what's his name? What's the
Trevor
dude?
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, 5th year, right? Finally hit his stride. They ain't trying to get rid of him. They got a team around him. He hit his stride. They worked with him. He's a big boy. Got injured a couple of times, but he came back. I'm just saying
But
that.
that's what they see in JJ.
But
And he's much younger than Darnold.
But here's the thing, and this is with both of these guys. These guys are good because of who's around them. It's not like either of these quarterbacks are somebody that really elevates everybody else on the field. They're not like these franchise saving quarterbacks, neither of them. But when you
Trevor Lawrence, when he was at Clemson, was hands down the best quarterback in college.
he
and he's
was. There's no question.
talking about Trevor Lawrence, I've always said is going to eventually develop and be a great quarterback. I'm talking about JJ McCarthy versus Sam Darnold. I don't think that either of these guys really make
He won a
that
national
much better.
championship coming out of Michigan.
I get it. He won a national championship coming out of Michigan, but there's a reason why he fell so down in the draft. I don't think he's got this exceptional arm. He doesn't have the craziest arm. He's not like he's got a faster. It's like he sees the game better than Darnold did at his age, he apparently has got leadership traits that people talk about in the locker rooms. But I don't know if to throw away a quarterback that's here right now that led Minnesota to where they were at last year to just give up. I guess obviously they're looking at the long term, but I still think it's silly. And just the proof is right in the Seattle Seahawks and how their offense runs with Sam Darnold as the quarterback.
I think McCarthy, think about this. You know who else is a better quarterback after he was around McCarthy? Daniel Jones, who everybody gave up on. Became a much better quarterback after he got under the tutelage of Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy believes in Kevin McCarthy. And he
Okay.
believes if you got a modicum of talent between him and McCown, they're going to make you a better quarterback.
Okay, but before we leave, this NFL quick because a lot of stuff. I just want to talk about old man Rivers for a second. Okay, Joe.
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
guys
get
got
him
to
again.
eat your words here. I'm sorry. I don't know who it was. I think it was
Me.
both
It
of
was
you
me.
guys last time talking
It was
about my
me.
man.
No, it was me that was giving old man Rivers the business getting off the couch. But I'm gonna give it to him, player. I gotta call it as I see it, man. You know, he is making the Colts competitive. Now I don't know if they can go any further, whatever. But Joe, old man Rivers is playing decent football from coming off the couch. I'm eating my words right about now with some crow, Joe.
Phillips Rivers has always been a good quarterback.
At 50?
He's played on so-so teams, but from North Carolina on, he's always known how to play quarterback.
Well, he got off the couch, Ryan, and did some unexpected things that I didn't think he would do, except when he got sacked a few times last week. But damn, you're 45, you can't get out of the way that quick.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's obviously he's not this. He's never had to be this physical running quarterback. They've got a line to protect him. He's the perfect quarterback for that system, and he played in that system before. And apparently, he was coaching the system
In
with
high
high school
school.
students. That he was not like that really makes a big difference. But look, the guy threw for what? 2 touchdowns to an interception versus the 49ers, 277 yards. That's not surviving. That's a dude that's running an offense.
That is true.
Coming in and just taking over. And I know that, yeah, he's old and And it really does. It's funny because they were asking Tom Brady if he'd be able to come back. I think I'm a
And
little bit late to this, but he said absolutely he'd be able to come back and dominate. And after seeing how Phillip Rivers plays with the right protection and the right system, it makes you think maybe not just Brady, but some of these other guys in today's
okay,
NFL
but
might be able to come
so you
back.
know what's funny? A while back, and I don't know if Joe remember seeing this Sports Illustrated cover. He was 49 years old and had a Sports Illustrated cover with Jim Brown saying, "I'm coming back." With he had a Raiders uniform on. I don't know if you remember that, Joe. It was like, Jim Brown, what are you crazy? I'm like, he might be able to come back though. It was so tantalizing because the cat quit at 28. And he was at the height of his career. So he's
9
like, damn,
years.
I'm
He
50,
played
like I'm
9
coming
years.
back. Huh?
He only played 9 years.
Yeah. So, as much as I trash LeBron James, I do, but to see the cat playing basketball at 40 years old, it's freaking, and it's some freaky stuff, man. I hope he ain't taking those steroids and stuff, but the cat's playing at 40, it's just crazy. If he's in the chamber getting whatever Michael
Yeah, but
Jackson
he's
juice.
also, if you're going to praise him, then talk about he's a defensive liability right
Oh,
now.
there's no question he can't play no D.
Yeah.
Everybody know he can't play
So
no
I'm just
D.
saying the Lakers are a joke.
The Lakers are a joke.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of a joke, we're going to take a quick break and we come back. We're going to do some NBA. And I know it's not a joke. New York basketball. We'll be right back. Knicks in the building. That's for you, Joe. You damn Nick hater. Welcome back to What's Going On in the Experience here on Fox Sports 480. I'm Nate Brown Jr. Got Joseph Hill out of Minnesota. And we got Ryan Verneuille down in NYC, Long Island. Speaking of NBA, I quote, I cannot date women in the NBA. They look like NBA young boys. And now said that. Victor, what the Wembanyama say? He said, I cannot date women in the NBA. They look like NBA young boy. French women are much softer. I'm like crying. Joe, he didn't talk about beating the Thunder. Actually, he said, no. Well, when he said look like NBA young boy, I lost it. What say you, Ryan? Do they look like NBA young boy?
I guess a little. I guess if you want to be like racist, like Victor Wembanyama, I suppose so. Not all of them. There's still some guys out there that don't look like NBA young boy, but yeah, I guess like in general the league does like I don't know. It's just not as fun to watch when it's not as physical. It's just not as fun to watch when they're not playing defense. Every time I watch an NBA game, not to rant too much here, but I feel like I'm watching the All-Star game back in the 2000s.
I thank you. Thank you. Like my grandson and son-in-law love them some NBA ball. And in all honesty, unless it's the playoffs, I kind of don't even want to watch it because it's unwatchable basketball. There's no strategy. Everybody's selfish. They come down and they jack up threes.
And it's really funny you
I'm
said
with-
that, Joe, because I'm watching the Knicks the other night, right? And I'm watching them play the Timberwolves, right? Watching the game. And I just watched Ant Edwards make like 3 or 4 layups with no defense. Mike Brown called timeout, and you could see, and it's like, dudes, what are you doing? Josh Hart let the guy go by like 3 times. He just went by him. Ant just went by. And the thing is, it was like an easy layup, like using a park, Joe. Nobody jumped. Nobody done nothing. They went out, threw the ball, and I'm like, they're not even playing like real basketball. What are
And
they
they
doing?
don't
They
even
were like
touch
going through the
the
motions.
body anymore on defense.
They were going through the motions.
Nobody takes a damn charge or anything. I'm watching high school kids take more charges than they do in the NBA.
Nobody's taking a charge. Nobody's doing any real hand checks. I know that they say, "Oh, it's illegal to do." So it's like they're not even playing defense. Why would they? Like, I've never seen so many easy baskets. It really is. It's the
Right.
equivalent of watching the All-Star game. I guess it's because nobody wants to get hurt and nobody wants to hurt each other. That's the only thing I can think when I watch it. It's almost like they're avoiding
all.
injuries.
I
They're
I don't think so. I think Barkley said it. They're soft. These dudes, and I'm sorry, you're talking NBA young boy. Y'all look like NBA young boy the players. These dudes are some soft guys. They couldn't mix it up in a bar fight. I'm
Look,
serious. All they want to
Draymond
do.
Green If Draymond Green tried the stuff that he does now back in the day,
Under the
Draymond
what?
Green wouldn't even be on the court because every team had an enforcer, and they
Yeah,
wouldn't put up with that.
yeah.
What do
But
you think about, as a Knicks fan, you talk about softness, and I know that the Knicks are doing well. It's not the playoffs, and that's when I will say this: in the playoffs, they start to play real basketball. In the
Right.
playoffs, it
well,
actually. What's
they
the point
played
of
real
82
basketball for
games
that
of?
damn Emirates Cup because they wanted that money.
Yes, and you could
I don't
see
know if
that
I
they're
don't know if y'all
actively
watched it. Now,
trying.
Joe, if you watched it, they played right down to the last damn minute. They was playing defense. They was hacking people. I ain't never seen them play like that. They played for that little cheddar. So I don't know if they need, and they don't really need the cheddar for them to play like that because they already get money. Joe, they already get a bag. So why
Right.
can't you play like that day in and day out for the fans?
I really think it's injuries, guys. I really think that it's because so many players were tearing their Achilles, ripping apart their ACLs. I can't think of any other reason why they would just
Well, but
wait.
on the Achilles, it's almost a proven fact now. If you got a calf injury, your Achilles is coming next. They weren't taking care of the. If you notice now, when people got calf injuries, they sit their asses down
Wow,
because the
very good
calf
point.
leads to the Achilles.
But Joe, another thing too, because Clyde Frazier said this, my man. Clyde said, I don't know. We played 82 games and we ain't had this many calf injuries because he said we used to work our lower bodies. He said this. He said we would go in the weight room and work out the lower bodies. These guys do upper body strength. He said they go in and work on the quads and the abs and, like Joe said, their ankle and trying to get that built. Even Bill Russell back in the day used to talk about that, building up the lower part of you. So you got a lot. And plus, remember, they're on that hardwood. It takes a lot of pounding, a lot of pounding, a lot of pounding. So at some point, you really got to build up your lower body extremities. And I don't know what these damn, what do you call them, trainers are doing, because that's their damn job, personally, Joseph.
Right. Yeah. Why are they all of a sudden everybody's tearing their Achilles?
They don't look as strong either. They don't look as physically
These dudes are
dominant as
pencil.
they.
They are
Yeah, even the
pencil.
guards.
Since we're on the NBA, I got to say this, because everybody has that saying. I know y'all do. Ball is life. What I think is just so beautiful this season is how OKC is running through everybody until they get to San Antonio.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you got a young team, OKC, who's beating everybody that runs into a younger team that they can't beat.
Well, no. That is the narrative. Because
I
here's the
love it.
deal. Now, here's the deal right now, right? This look at the NBA landscape. We know the Eastern Conference is scrubs. If the Knicks come out of there because they're not really that good, and ain't anybody in Eastern really that good, I'm sorry. Detroit
No,
will give you a problem. Other than Detroit, that's it. The
right,
Knicks better come out of the East. I'm sorry.
right.
But when you go to the West, you still got to deal with Jokic.
Everybody's
I don't care what nobody say. I don't
everybody's
care.
fault.
He just had 53 the other night, and your man had 35. Okay, so Denver ain't going no place. We know San Antonio's coming. We know
Oh
they
yeah.
coming and probably already arrived. Because I'm gonna tell you, Castle and Vassell, they a
No.
monster. And that
And
other
that young
kid,
boy Dylan Harper.
And Dylan
Harper,
Harper is a beast, and
and
Deontay,
that's
the
Ron
whole team
Harper's
is.
kid too, by the way, NBA
I try to
guys.
tell people before he hurt his knee, before he blew in those days, they didn't heal the knees the way they do now. Before Ron Harper blew his knee out,
He's better than Michael Jordan. He was just as good as Michael Jordan.
no,
I'm
stop.
sorry.
He
I'm
was the
sorry.
next
That's
closest thing
crazy.
to Michael
Listen,
Jordan.
let,
Stop.
let me
Stop.
give you two
Stop.
people right in the
Stop.
NBA. If they hadn't fucking gotten hurt,
He
excuse
was
my
close
language,
to
was gonna be
Michael
just as good as
Jordan.
Michael Jordan. One of them was freaking Penny Hardaway. Unguardable. You couldn't guard Penny. You could not guard Penny. The other one was freaking Tracy McGrady. I'm sorry. And the third was Grant Hill. If Grant Hill,
And you got one more.
give me a
Vince
dude.
Carter.
Michael Jordan's teammate at North Carolina, James Worthy. I don't
Worthy.
know if anybody saw James
Worthy.
Worthy before he got hurt.
Worthy.
How about Len Bias? I wasn't able to see Len Bias. I've just seen the highlights in college. Would Len
Nah.
Bias really have
Len
been?
would have been good, but Len, his game was too erect. And what that means was Jumper was here. He wasn't one of this guys. He just went to the
And he
cup.
was strong,
He was
man.
strong. He was a bull. He was
They
a
say it
bull.
was the OG LeBron. But
He was a
real
bull.
quick, because we do have to go to break, but I want to ask you guys one question, and maybe this will be the resolution to the lackluster, nobody really giving it a shot, aloof play that we see. What if we just got rid of conferences altogether? And I know that there's been talk of that. What if we literally just took the best teams in the NBA and put them in the playoffs and then allowed them to face off? Because we're never going to see an OKC Spurs finals. And honestly, I don't think there'd be a better matchup in the next 5 years than those two teams going against each other in the finals. Do you think that would be a resolution, or is it too detrimental to history?
What do you think, Joe? I'm gonna leave you that one.
I've never even thought, in all honesty, this is a first. That's a good one. First time. No, I think you need to keep it. I think you need to keep the leagues divided because I think you need the regional competition. You need to have the Boston,
New York,
Cleveland. I think you
Philly.
need teams that are closer to you, Philly, Boston, Philly, New York. I think you need those rivalries for the fans. People are too used to like hating their neighbors.
Yeah.
It's a
So
good
I
point.
think that'll keep it going. But I agree with you. The league right now is totally imbalanced. The West is so much better
It's so
than
much better.
It's always this way, Joe. Like, I feel like even growing up, it's always the West is so much better than the East. And then you talk about geography. Memphis Grizzlies are in the West.
I know.
There's
I-
certain divisions
Certain
that don't
teams that
even
should
make
be in
any
the
sense.
East.
And the
Right.
No question.
division play doesn't even really matter. It's all about the conference. So I agree 100%. Like if we're having some more regional rivalries and the divisions actually mattered like they used to, maybe. But I feel like with this NBA, like competition's not really encouraged like it should be
Yeah.
for the
And that's
regular
why
season.
that's why they put that cup in there. So we're gonna take a quick break, right, Ryan? We gotta take a break now.
That's
We'll take a
right.
quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more NBA and a little bit of Major League Baseball too. Because I'm hoping the Mets get my boy Bo Bichette. He's still out there, man. I'm hoping for Bo Bichette.
That's on my Santa list, guys, to go to the Yanks. The perfect fit for the New York Yankees,
See,
Bo
so
Bichette.
you can see how we doing it, Joe.
and you
Okay,
got to look at what the White Sox just did.
what the
They got
Japanese
rid of all the
do?
players from
Ooh, that's a
Japan.
good.
25 years old.
You got to. I don't care. Get somebody from Japan who can play. They
That's
have
it.
proven that when they come into the major leagues, they'll show off.
We're gonna
He's
take a
gonna
quick
get a
break.
big payday.
And we'll be right back. Fox Sports 1280, iHeartMedia. What's going on? You see in the background here, folks. Nate Brown Jr. and the crew. Joe Hill, Minnesota. Ryan V down in NYC. Don't go no place. Oh, there's Kobe too, nigga. There's Kobe right there, making a jumper. And that's me, you, Joe, with our boy from the Jets back in the day, Curtis Martin. Be right back. Hey, folks, we're back for our final segment. What's going on in the experience here on Fox Sports 1280 and iHeartMedia? We're here in Rochester, New York, with my man Joseph Hill. He's out of Minnesota, and Ryan is out in NYC, Long Island. And speaking of being someplace, I tried to get credentials for Syracuse, right, Joe? And they said, well, you can't get credentials because you don't cover the Syracuse basketball team. So I'm gonna get credentials one way or other because I got to do the second generation of the Carmelo Anthony thing with his son Cayenne. So I might get tickets for the 31st. I'm waiting on my man Phil. Phil hook a brother up. I get the tickets. I go down there. I do my thing. I do want to cover Syracuse basketball. Actually, I want to cover Syracuse sports, period. So when they heard our show and they heard that I didn't mention Syracuse, they told me to kick rocks and bottle tops. You know I don't go out like that, Joe. I'm from the South Bronx. You know how we do. So we're gonna give you a little 3 to 5 minutes starting next segment, Syracuse. But I just want to mention the fact that we're gonna big you up. We're in Western New York. Your football team, but maybe the basketball team could do something. Actually, the lacrosse team were pretty good too, and women's basketball. But I just want to give Syracuse a shout out. And whatever the guy named at the media joint that gave me the heave ho, have a happy new year. I forget the kid's name. Okay, Joe. So we use our platform for good. Okay. Speaking of good, the Mets. I'm sorry, Joe. The Mets. What are the Mets doing, Ryan? Can somebody help me and save me? Now, I know
You
they
know,
got rid of Jeff McNeil. I know they got rid of my man Nimmo. I know they got rid of Pete Alonso. I know they got rid of Edwin Diaz. That's like half the damn Mets team right there, right? It's like half
Those are all the people I like.
the...
I got rid of the people that Joe Hill liked. That was the plot.
So they got
Joe Hill liked
so
this
not
Ryan,
team.
just you, Joe. Every single Mets fan. It's
help
not.
me,
It's
Ryan.
not
You gotta help me,
often.
Ryan. Ryan, you gotta help me because I
Yeah.
need help with this
Get rid
segment.
of the
I
It,
need
polar
help.
none of it makes any
How did
sense
you get rid
whatsoever.
of the polar bear? How?
Not just the polar bear. Every single fan favorite. Why would you get rid of the best closer in baseball? Edwin
Edwin,
Diaz.
and where did he go to?
Edwin Diaz is and of
The
all
Dodgers.
players to over $3 million. It's just absolutely insane.
Joe, stop laughing.
The team has got everything, just got another closer.
This
Just got a closer. They didn't even really
got
have
the
a
best
they were
closer in
Suzuki.
I mean, they
baseball.
got the best closer. That was their only weakness.
That
They
was
got
it.
the best closer in baseball. Okay, so Ryan,
It's
they
Stern,
let
man.
Polar Bear walk to the
it's your
Baltimore
GM.
Orioles. What
It's
was
your
that
GM,
about?
Nate. It's all about your GM. It's because your GM
But
thinks
why
he's
would
smarter
you
than
give?
everybody else.
Hold on. Why would you give the best team in baseball the best closer in baseball? Why?
Well, the Mets didn't. It's not just that, but they essentially disrespected the man. They didn't tell him that Devin Williams was going to be
Yep.
signed, so he finds out through Bleacher Report or something like that. So what do you expect? The guy was disrespected. He's the best closer in Mets history.
Yes.
It's really not even close. He's way better than James Franco.
Yes.
John Franco. James Franco. He's way better than James Franco. But yeah, definitely disrespectful towards the Mets fan base. A fan base which was promised over delivery. Like they were going to spend so much money. Look what they did with Soto last year. Why would you sign Juan Soto to a deal like that if you're just going to collapse the team the next year?
The next year didn't make right, Ryan.
It doesn't make sense to get Pete Alonso or to get rid of Pete Alonso in any way, shape, or form to me. He's the all-time leader in Mets home runs. It's like they always say the Mets are never going to have a single player that retires as a New York Met that started with the team and ends with the team. It's the same exact thing over and over again. Disloyalty. And I understand, I guess, theoretically why Stearns did it. It's because he wants to put his guys in there. That's the old regime. Everybody from Jeff McNeil to Pete Alonso to Edwin Diaz. These are decisions that were made by the former GM. And this guy's a know-it-all that came from Milwaukee and did a great job with Milwaukee, but this is a different kitchen you're cooking in, man. I think look, and you know I love roasting the Mets, but it's wildly incompetent to get rid of those guys without a replacement. Who are you going to put at first base? I'm glad that they have Devin Williams as closer because now we don't have him. It's terrible. So it really just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
What is this whole thing with getting pitches from the Yankees? Are the Yankees the Mets farm system?
It seems like that. It seems like that's how it's been. Please, and take the pitchers you're taking the worst pitchers.
That's what I'm saying. They get like the worst guys the Yankees have, Joe. I'm going, wasn't he like 3-13 last year with the Yankees? What are you doing? And then they talk about not wanting to re-sign my man Starlin Marte. How do you not re-sign stuff? He's crazy. He's like one of the greatest pinch hitters I know. He just comes up and hits the ball automatically. He don't even need to be in the game, right?
The one great signing that the Mets made was Luke Weaver, who's a guy I really wish we could have kept. If you look back at the 2024 World Series, he was our guy, and he didn't really crack under pressure. He didn't do good last year compared to how he was in 2024, but now that was a good move by the Mets. But if the Mets, and once again, it's a little bit too early for us to be screaming and yelling at our GMs. Trust me, you see my Yankees hat, I want to yell at Brian Cashman also. But there's still Cody Bellinger out there. There's still Kyle Tucker out there. There's
still Bo Bichette out there.
Bo Bichette. But if these two GMs don't make moves yet again, we have another disappointing New York offseason. I guess the Mets had a great offseason last year. But yeah, it would be an absolute travesty for the Mets or Yankees not to get Bellinger. I'll at least say that.
But Joe, check this out though. You just said before break, you said the White Sox made a tremendous sign. Talk about that right quick, because I thought that was major.
Well, I mean, that's one player. They need a lot of players.
But I'm just saying, man. But it's not like they went and got the best Japanese dude outside of Shohei pitching.
Look, there's so much talent in Japan. one of the first places I'd be looking if I was a team would be in Japan. Because I don't know what the hell they do over there, but when they come to the U.S. major leagues, they show off.
Because I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite ball players back in the day, Joe. I used to love me some Ichiro.
Oh yeah,
I used to love me some Ichiro, and I wanted to be a Met so bad. This is hustle. He reminded me of like Ra Carew, hit from both sides of the plate, gave you 110 all day, every day.
but
Well,
there seems to be a plethora of players like that now from Japan.
not this one. I love this guy, Murakami.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw him in the World Baseball Classic, and where he hit a home run, I believe, in the finals against the U.S., if I remember correct. But the guy's really good. But he's a home run hitter. He's a real home run hitter. And this is such a great move, not just by the White Sox, but by Murakami. I think I'm saying his name right, because he's in for a serious payday. He only signed for 2 years,
Right.
which leaves him open after
At
this
27
so-called
years
lockout.
old.
Apparently,
28.
there's a lockout in the midst that everybody's talking about. So, an amazing move, and an amazing move by the White Sox to show that they somewhat care about their fans. Let's not forget,
Yeah.
they were World Series champions less than 20
Exactly.
years ago,
Okay.
maybe a little over. But yeah, but no, Joe, you brought that up, and yeah, definitely a great play. And he's got $34 million that he can now sit on as well. Not a bad deal. 2 years, $34 million. Which is a 100% a prove it contract, because we're talking about a guy that I imagine if he has the same success he did in the NPB, he'll probably be signed to at least a 10-year deal.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Now as we break down one baseball, Joe, what your Cubbies doing? Because that's the White Sox on the one side of town. What's the Cubbies doing?
In all honesty, I have no idea.
Not signing Kyle Tucker like they should, apparently. I don't understand what that's about.
What was that I was
Perfect
gonna
fit for
say?
Wrigley Field.
Well, look, I'm still lamenting the fact that Kyle Schwarber is a Philly and not a Cub. Why the hell the Cubs ever let Kyle Schwarber, little Babe Ruth, why they ever let him go, I don't know. And you see what Kyle Schwarber's done now.
Philly's legend. We talk about how terrible Pennsylvania as well. They're blessed with a real power hitter.
Bellinger, they let go. They may not, there's a
For
lot
nothing.
of Cubs have let go.
Yo, they traded. Now, if I remember correct, didn't we trade Cody Petit for Bellinger? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The hell's going on in Chicago?
Yeah.
Strange, because they always have a consistent team. I just, it doesn't make sense to me to not sign Kyle Tucker. I know that they have the best center fielder in baseball right now, I think, and Pete Crow Armstrong. But what a guy to compliment him in the outfield. That
In the
is
outfield,
consistent.
exactly.
It just doesn't make sense to not re-sign him. Maybe
No,
he's
I
holding
don't
out to get a little
understand.
more money out of him.
I don't understand it.
But it's that time, boys. And everybody out there listening, we love you so much that we want to invite you to our website, foxsportsradiowgo.com. That's where you can find all things, what's going on, and interviews, not just that we've done on the radio, but behind the scenes content. Joe and Nate, I hear, are cranking out some fire interviews exclusively for our YouTube channel. So I'm excited to check that one out. Everybody needs to go
Man, Joe,
immediately
that's
to
what
our
I'm saying. Dr. McCray is Black History Month.
All right.
Yep, Dr. McCray, Black. Yeah, I want that for Black History Month. That was a powerful interview. So Ryan's gonna be chopping that up for us.
So,
with the
folks,
photos and everything.
everybody, we appreciate you as always. Have a happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. I think Kwanzaa is over. I think we're late to the
No,
punch.
second. This is second day of Kwanzaa, brother.
Second day of Kwanzaa. How many days is Kwanzaa?
7 days, and Joe don't give a
7
shit.
days. I might just switch to
Look at
Kwanzaa.
Joe's face. Joe. We gotta go. You gotta edit that out. You can't leave that. You cannot.
What did I say, man? I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I
Right.
didn't say a word. I didn't
Joe
say
is sick. No, we gotta go. You all have a happy New Year. Okay. And you know what messed me up? They round off your pennies now, bruh. They don't take. It's like, yo, man, where's my penny? Like, nah, dude, we rounded that shit. I'm like, nah, I need my 2 cents. They don't give it back to you like that no more, fellas.
Oh, well, at least they give you, a lot of times they give you a choice. They go, okay, do you want the pennies or do you want it to go to charity? And I just go, okay, give it to charity.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah.
Never. I give enough money to charity with my taxes. Crazy. I don't trust any of those things. Every time I go to one of those things, I don't believe the money's going to the charity. I would rather hand it to somebody myself.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
believe it.
they
They
rounding
could
up
take
them
a
damn
fraction of my
pennies.
penny and put it in their pockets. No
They
thanks.
rounding up them pennies because pennies do add up. Ask Richard Pryor in that Superman movie. He was the little dude taking little pennies. He was stealing pennies, and he ended up having $20 million worth of pennies. So pennies add up. Speaking of pennies adding up, we're adding up out of here. Until next time, and it's our time. I hope God bless each and every one of you for 2026. And pay attention to the damn symptoms because they be making sense from time to
Hey,
time.
Venezuelan oil.
Yeah, and then you bomb in Nigeria for some other stuff.
Venezuelan oil.
And you want the Nigerian gold mine. We're
Who's
out of
got
here.
the largest oil reserves in the world? Venezuela.
Yeah, we trying to attack their tankers. So here we go again. Until next time, peace.